Hello everyone. There may be times where your laptop just won't charge its battery, or the laptop won't even power on when you have no battery in it and you have an AC adapter physically plugged into the laptop. Well, what that might be is possibly your DC jack. Your DC is your direct current jack, and for me, that's going to be the jack that's on the back left corner of my laptop, which is all the way over here. So we're going to zoom in and take a look at that jack and see what we can do about replacing it, if possible. Now, the reason we say if possible, some of these jacks are actually soldered onto the motherboard, and if it's soldered onto the motherboard, you're going to need to have it replaced by someone who knows how to properly use a soldering iron as well as some other tools, possibly even a desoldering pump. Do not attempt this unless you know how to do it very well with lots of practice so you don't damage your laptop. It may be best just to have this replaced according to the manufacturer. So let's zoom in and take a look at our DC jack on our laptop. Now every laptop's going to be different, but you're going to have to start with making accessible your DC jack. For me, it required a lot of disassembly of my computer. Now this DC jack is not easily removed and replaced. You can tell because it is soldered onto the board. So right here is the DC jack, and I can see how it is soldered onto the system board itself. In order to remove this DC jack, we would actually have to use a desoldering iron and be able to suck that soldering away with a desoldering pump. From there, we'd have to resolder a new DC jack on. Now, this is not something that you'll commonly do on your own unless you know how to properly use a soldering iron and a desoldering tool. Otherwise, this motherboard with that DC jack should be replaced according to the manufacturer of the laptop. We'll take a closer look at this DC jack, and you can see how it is connected to the system board. So here is my zoomed in DC power jack. You can see how it's connected to the system board, and I went through my entire manual made by my manufacturer, and this is not even listed as a replaceable part. So this is connected to the system board, and that would require desoldering as well as soldering on a new DC jack. So at this point, I would have to contact my manufacturer and have it either replace system board, or I'd have to refer to someone who is an expert at soldering and could do this successfully. So make sure that you take your time regarding replacing your DC jack if it's possible, and please consult your manufacturer's manual for your laptop as you proceed in any direction regarding replacing a DC jack.